Okay, we have a little issue here. So we're gonna try to change the seats, right, in the car, and the plug looks like this. That fits perfectly in the original seats that were in here, but the seats that we're gonna put in here now have that plug, and that's not compatible. So Project Bimmers has a little issue here, and I'm just going to show you a couple ways how I can figure this out. There's a few things I can do. Okay, look what we got here. I'll show you how I did all this later, like how I took this apart. That's not the important thing right now. I just want to show you what I'm into. Took the bottom of the seat where the plug was. So now I got the plug from the seat all disconnected, and I looked at the wiring. Ran it all back. I took off all the tape and I ran it back to see what's getting powered up, what's connected to each other. Like, these things are already parts of the seat. They're connected where they're connected. Okay, the other seat is gonna have the same configurations going on. They're gonna have their motors and switches and things that have to work, that just need to get powered up from here. Okay, now this plugs into the car as is, but remember, I was changing the seats and they had a yellow plug. So what I decided to do, the method that I'm gonna go, because I'm just comfortable with wires, this is my element. It might look confusing to you, but to me, I see exactly what's going on here. And I can alter this in a way that I'll be able to use the factory plugs. Immediately when I saw that I had this issue, I already went to my network and I was able to source out factory plugs from a newer vehicle, which are the yellow plugs. Okay, these would be the plugs that I would need in the car to plug into the black seats. But unfortunately, my model was an older model and it had this plug. So the wires on this, as you can see, they're similar. You see, look like the same wires over there, right? So all I had to do was go online, do my networking, and find the pinouts, what wires go where and what connects to where. So I'll be able to modify it now, where I'm going to take this plug it into the seat where it belongs, but it will be getting its information from these wires. So I'll connect these together, right? But when I plug the actual harness into the car, I don't have to modify the car now. The plug in the car could plug into this like it's used to doing. These wires that used to go into this seat, I'm not using this seat anymore, so these wires can go into these wires, and then this can go into the new seat. You see that? That is Project Bimmers. When we get to this electrical shit, some genius shit be going on. This is definitely my area of expertise when it comes to wiring up stuff, figuring out how to make things work custom. So that's why I don't mind working on these vehicles. Any little issues that I run into that has anything to do with it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, it's not wired up right, I don't care about none of that shit. I'll just look at it, try to find a wiring diagram. There has to be somewhere in the internet diagram someone had this issue before. There's forums for everything. So if you know how to research properly, then you should have no issues. And this channel is definitely going to be able to help you guys figure out issues in a professional manner, because I'm going to show you how to do this where you don't have to hack up your car. This seat that I'm doing this to right now was a damaged seat anyway, so I wasn't going to be able to sell it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it for everything that I possibly can. The motor works fine. It was just that the side moldings were kind of damaged, and the fabric was in a state of disrepair that I don't feel like repairing in order to sell the seat. I could get more benefit from using the seat. I could use the fabric. I could make templates out of this, and I could make new covers for this. I could even use the foam, so I could make new designs for this seat. I'm gonna actually customize a plug and play harness. That's why I'm doing it this way. And I'll have these available pretty soon. So anybody who has this issue, once you see how I tackle it and the way that I do it, you might be interested in getting the same method. So I'm gonna get to work now. I'm gonna have to cut this. So what I'll do is the wires that I need, I'll cut. The wires that I don't need, I'll just leave them in here. This seat is not gonna be used anyway, so I'll start stripping it. And I'll just take what I need, make my alterations. I'll show you that process as well, so you can see exactly how I wire things up, if I'm going to solder them, if I'm going to use any kind of connections, how I'm going to tape it up, what type of materials I'll use. I'll show you all that. Put the link in the description just to help you guys out. And yeah, this is going to be Project Bimmers official seat conversion plug and play. When you go from older, this is a 1997 E38. And I'm taking the seats from a 2001, so they're totally different seats. There's going to be something else, just in case anybody's watching this video who's going to be doing this, that you have to consider, which I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it too. Your seatbelt tensioner, this piece right here. This has to come out because it's different than the one is in the black seat. The later model, they have a two-step tensioner. This is a single stage, so the seat belt won't operate the proper way when there's an accident. You definitely want to pay attention to, whenever you're going to be customizing a car, safety features. Safety first, man, definitely. And if you're going to learn anything from Project Bimmers, it's definitely going to be a safe way to do it. Right, so the issue that we were having with the seat, it was the harnesses. The harness originally from this car and the original seat from this car mates into this plug. Remember, I took this plug out of the seat and I rewired it, so this is just a testing setup. So I wired this up just so that I could test to see if this works. This should plug into this seat, and then the seat should work. So I'm going to test that out. I don't have the seat bolted in, so I could just lean the seat back. Just lean it back there. Now this is the factory plug, okay? So the factory plug, this would have been in the seat just like how this is, see? The yellow one is there. This is exactly how the black one would have been sitting in the factory seat. So this would plug into here. Plug this in, and that'll lock it in. And that would have been a factory plug, right? So this seat obviously takes this harness. So this would have been in the car if this was an updated car with this plug. This would have been the plug that was in here. So I made it this plug to this harness, and then this should clip in here. That should clip in there, right? Then I could put the seat down. I'm sure I don't pinch anything. Okay. Now, if that works, then I should have power to the seats. Check it out. Back. Yeah, seat is going back, forward. Seat is going forward. Yep. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh yeah, man. I didn't mount all this, so. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. All the functions work. Yep. So there you have it. That setup that I thought would work actually worked. It was very simple. Now that I know that it works, what I could do is properly solder up the harness, tape it up, mount it properly, get these seats cleaned up, and continue with the interior swap. So that issue that I ran into, it's not going to stop anything. Nothing's going to stop the show. We got to get this car done. Nothing's going to stop it. If we run into any wiring issue, we'll rewire it. I got all those wires exposed. I can test everything in there. I got a lot of fuse boxes exposed under the glove box. I could test everything there. The car is pretty much bare right now. I could run any wiring for audio. Everything's, you know, ready to go. Next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all this, and I'm going to get this carpet prepped. I'm going to trim this out. Excuse me, I'm going to mask this off, this whole area on both sides, so that I can start spraying this carpet. I'm going to mask everything up there that I need to mask off. If I need to mask anything off, I'll show you guys exactly how I do it. I want to get full coverage on the carpet, so I'm going to mask a lot of stuff off. That's going to be a process that has to be done if you want to get a professional look on this thing. Okay, now you could do it outside of the car. That's another option, but being pressed for time, even though masking it off is going to take some time, taking it out of the carpet and finding a place to do it and all that other shit, that's going to take some time too. So I'd rather just do it while it's in the car, knock it out. I'll show you guys exactly how I do it, and we'll be back to show you those steps. All right.